Good. I mean, both guys seem fine. I always like, last time Coby, I think, went through the practice, I said to you guys, wait to see how it is after. I haven't spoken to the medical guys or Coby since practice has ended, but he was fine. He went through everything and seemed like he was good, but we'll see how he is, coming out of it. Josh seemed like he was fine. We'll see how he is coming out of it, but both guys didn't miss anything and went through everything.
Is this the first time you've had your starting backcourt on the court in the practice?
We had it that one day when Coby kind of, felt the tightness again back. Time, just because when he said he was feeling a little tight, the medical guys wanted to take him out of practice, but that wasn't. But yeah, we haven't certainly had Coby and Josh together at all since last season. I mean, that was the last time those guys were together. So it was good for those guys to at least get a practice and on the court together.
Tomorrow's like a downshift day and a travel day.
You got all these downshift, everything's great. Okay, yeah.
No,
right.
but I'm saying tomorrow it won't be contact. You'll see how they.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll be very much contact at all. It's a 6:00 game in Utah. Those are hard games to shoot around. So we do have to do some stuff, I think, going into that game tomorrow. So I generally, lean on and trust the medical guys when they give me some direction on how much contact in practice, how long to go, those kind of things. But we'll do some tomorrow, just because I'm not so sure at this point in time we'll have a shoot around.
And
travel.
Who's that?
Maybe getting on the second leg or the back-to-back, or what's the target?
I think the decision, and again, I'm just totally speculating here. If he comes through this totally clean, and medical and Coby feel like he's in a position, you've got a couple things. You got obviously 5 games in 7 nights, and then you got to go to New Orleans. So I would want to talk to the medical guys of how they want to spread that out. I don't know about the back-to-backs. I don't know, because you have one situation where he could theoretically play against Utah, not play against Denver, come back and play Portland, right? Not play against Miami and potentially come back and play Washington, or it could be the other way around. So it all depends on what they want with that. And then obviously you get the New Orleans game the following week. So the schedule is really condensed. I think the medical guys will probably talk to Coby, and Coby will have a conversation about him. And clearly he's going to be on a minute restriction with all the density of games. So I'll get with those guys probably sometime this afternoon after they've had a chance to go through treatment and all that other stuff. But there's a lot of different scenarios that could take place. But my expectation is that he will play this week coming up. I just don't know until I talk to him about what games and how it would be laid out.
Right, and for Josh, you expect to play?
Yes, I expect both those guys. And again, this is totally preliminary, and this is all predicated on them coming out of this practice tomorrow feeling good. And I'm guessing that everything's well. I don't know any of that right now, but I'm just going off of that they both completed everything. And if there was a problem in practice, I would have known, and there was no problem for them in practice.
Just the last one on the injury front. Collins, I think, is supposed to be due for a reevaluation.
Really good. That worked out well. We got that done. Really good healing. He will come out. Catching, dribbling, doing that. The biggest challenge he's going to have is because the hand was, in a splint, he's got to rebuild back up some strength. So he hasn't gripped the ball. He hasn't been able to do anything that they've wanted the bone to heal. So for him, that's going to be the next thing. But he will get into contact now. He will be able to start to use his hand. The biggest question will be is how long does it take for him to get back to strength? I don't think it's going to be long, but I would hope with that after coming out of that New Orleans game, we have 3 more days again. My hope is that he would be back in practice possibly by then. That's being optimistic.
And he's probably been able to maintain conditioning a little bit more.
Yeah, no, he's been great. He's in here running and doing all that, and that's probably been the biggest thing. I want to give Coby a lot of credit because he has done a great job as best he can with a lower leg extremity injury, keeping his weight down, staying in shape. He was a little bit gassed, but he looks good physically. Because of Zach's injury with his hand, he's been able to do a lot more running and more conditioning than Coby ever could have. So Zach's been in here not using his left hand, but using his right hand as much as possible, but he is running, and I don't really worry about his conditioning, maybe as much as I did with Coby.
You had mentioned mentioned just after the Detroit game, basically that you guys have to play more desperately in a sense of urgency. How did you sort of like communicate that or show up in practice today to the guys? Like, how did you go about that?
I think Casey mentioned it after the game. Just our defense. And I really feel like from an offensive standpoint, we've made, again, comparing it or coming out of last year, some significant growth, right? Like, I think last year we were like 9th, we didn't get rim attempts. We're top 10 right now, or 11, somewhere in there. We've done a good job getting to the rim. We talked about the offensive rebounding, where we were last year, 28th or 29th. We've done a better job. We've moved up, I think, to 17 or 18, so there's been progress there. I don't know if we're ever going to be a team that's going to necessarily be a team that forces a lot of turnovers. We can get more active with our hands and our deflection. We've done that. We need to approach and treat defense like we treat offense, in my opinion. And the way we play offense is we really share the ball, we move the ball, we make the game easy for each other, we hit the open man, we help one another. We need to help one another more defensively. And I think the biggest difference for us has been, these last several games, there's been a wide margin of, here we have getting to the paint, getting to the rim, but we're giving up an astronomical amount. And some of that starts out top at the three-point line with our shifts and fills. Some of it's in pick and roll coverage, some of it's in one-on-one, some of it's our low men and our guys calling across and, providing help. I think that, against Detroit, putbacks, transition, half court, it took 33 layups in the game. We've got to be better collectively as a team, and we need to rely on each other. And I've made a lot of points about this. We don't have a guy at the end of the game we're going to put the ball in the hands like Mitchell, like Wembanyama, which is fine. We got to do it together, right? We have to do the same thing defensively. We have to do everything together. And we've done a pretty good job offensively doing it together. Honestly.
Did you feel like the team was receptive to that in practice today and the kind of need for increased urgency and intensity?
These guys are great to work with. The urgency part, I wouldn't say we didn't have a lack of urgency in Detroit. I think the desperation of wanting to help each other more has got to be there. But these guys are great to work with. I love working with these guys. I love being around them. They work hard. They have good chemistry, have good relationships. I think they're about the right things. They try to do the right things. So I think anytime you put something in front of them that we have to address to improve upon, they're always good about leaning into it. So, they always respond really well.
Yeah, they knew. Like, we went in that locker room after talking to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's a group that's, listen, I was really disappointed after the game. I'm sure I came across. I'm not going to shoo those moments off as, it was one game, 11 games, you really, no, we don't have the luxury to play that way and give ourselves an opportunity. And I always say this to the guys, us competing and playing together is just the price of admission to get into the event. That doesn't guarantee a win. That guarantees that we'll be in the game competitively. And we have to, and if we don't, and I know we're missing guys, but so were they. But if we don't do that, that's what the result's going to be.
Right.
And hopefully we can move forward from it and get better from it. And listen, at over 82 games, there's always going to be some of those games where you just, you shake your head. And it was disappointing, especially, as I said after the game, coming off of 3 losses. It wasn't like we won 5 in a row and we got a little fat and happy. We've dropped 3 in a row, and we've got to, and that, listen, that doesn't mean we would have won the game, but I thought they gave effort, but there's got to be more attention to detail on the things that we have to do.
What did you see from the pick and roll coverages?
Yeah, for us defensively, that's part of the problem. That's part of the issue. But there's a lot more to it than that. It's running back in transition and understanding that when a guy's on an island in a one-on-one situation with a guy coming full speed at him, there needs to be fills and shifts and helps and loads in there, and not being worried necessarily about running to get your matchup. And so the pick and roll, yes, that was part of the rim issue too. You know, being better at the point of the screen, being better when there's a roll coming and meeting the roll a little bit earlier. A lot of those things were a problem. Listen, last game, we turned the ball over 21 times. We were 19 for 28 from the free throw line, and we gave up 33 rim shots. You are not winning. We do that, we are not winning any games. And, you know, we got to the free throw line, but we never really kept the ball. And these are things that we have to do, and they're controllable things. And the pick and roll, to your point, needs to be better, but it's a controllable that we can get better. And listen, we're not going to have a lot of shot blocking back there, which is fine, but we need to have guys back there that are going to be able to meet those roles a little bit earlier than we did.
It went good. It went good.
How do you feel physically?
Good.
Is there any part of your mind thinking about what happened last time you went through a full contact practice? Are you hesitant at all?
No, I was cool. Can't live your life in fear and think about the past. So that's not really how I live my life. So I felt good today. Everything went well. I made it through. So they want to see how I respond tomorrow. But you know, hopefully everything goes well. So I'm feeling good right now. So it was a good practice too.
Obviously, medical's going to have a big say in how you guys approach this with 5 games in 7 days. Assuming you come out of today, okay, how many games do you want to?
Come out, you know, assuming I come out, everything's cool, which it should be. I follow their direct orders. I want to play all 5, but I know I won't play all 5. So hopefully I can get 3 in there. I'm fighting for that. So yeah.
What about minutes?
I definitely will be on a minute restriction when I return. Probably around 20. I think they said like 24 minutes first game. So I definitely will be on a minute restriction. I can't argue that. I try to talk my way out of that one too, but it ain't work.
How's the conditioning feeling? Obviously, you've been out for a while, but it seems like you've been able to maintain at least some level.
Yeah, no, it's been good. Like I said, I've been running like a lot, up and down, assault bike, but these last like 2.5 weeks, I've really been just running. I told them I feel like I was back in college as much as I was running. So my conditioning is pretty good. It's better than what I thought it was going to be. Practice. It was physical. It was pretty long. It was good.
And just seeing kind of the way the team has played over the last couple of games, obviously not as great as the 5-0 start. Do you kind of just like watch and feel like here's where I can fit in, here's where they kind of need me, here's where I can add some of that like isolation scoring or just like bucket getting that they're kind of missing at times?
Nah. I think for me, I just look at it as I'm always looking at the game through a lens of how can I help and what can I do to impact winning. In the team in a positive way. I mean, that's how my mind always is, whether I'm playing or whether I'm not playing. So for me, I'm just excited. I'm blessed and fortunate to be out there. I never like had to deal with anything like this other than like with my shoulder. So it's been tough for me. But I'm just excited to be able to have a chance to get back out there and play the game I love. So.
You're obviously somebody who uses your speed to get downhill and create separation, but you know, what level do you feel like you're at right now? How close to 100% in terms of your stop and start do you really feel like you're able to put out on the court?
I don't really feel no restrictions. So like I said, I've been the last 2.5 weeks, I've been like kind of mainly like full go with my workouts and stuff. So I've kind of built that tolerance up of like starting and stopping. So I really feel like I'm just as fast as I was before, or stop and start, whatever. So, I mean, I don't feel any backtrack or anything like that.
From what Billy told us, I mean, obviously we asked about you and your recovery a ton. He was saying that part of your recovery in this stage was to not just come back, but sort of make the muscle stronger. Do you feel like you're maybe in a better spot or in better shape than you were before?
But now, I mean, shout out to the medical staff. We kind of, and the training and the weight room staff. We kind of tweaked some stuff in my rehab, and they all got together and they came up with a good plan, a great plan. And so I mean, my calf feels good. I feel like I'm stronger, and I mean, when they tested, it says I am stronger. So I'm just like I said, like I'm just excited to have an opportunity to play.
What do you think about the way Josh has played before he got hurt?
Yeah, no, like I said, he's playing unbelievable. He's playing at an all-star level, so it's no surprise to me. Like I always say, like I see the work that he puts in. I see the care factor. I'm around him every day. Like I said, I've gotten to grow closer to him over these past 2 years. So for me, it's not really a surprise. And like I say, I always, you know me, I always seeing people prove people wrong. And so for me, he's doing that a lot right now. And so I'm excited about that too. Thank y'all.
I mean, of course, that was nothing that what we were about in terms of our identity, who we wanted to be labeled as a basketball team. I don't think we showed that last game against Detroit. And we had a great practice today. I mean, that's not to justify the game against Detroit, but, you know, all about life. It's all about, you know, learning from your mistakes, addressing it, of course. And then we had a very detailed film session, and then we move on from it. And I think today's practice was great. Of course, great to have some guys back, and we had a great practice.
Y'all got off to such a good start, but how much do y'all still feel like you're still rounding kind of into the foundation? I feel like I have kind of room to grow.
We have a lot ways room to grow, and that's the best part about the season. You know, we were 11 games in. And we already went on a 5-game winning streak and a 4-game losing streak. And I just think that that's a testament of the NBA. Never get too high, never get too low. We understand. Obviously, we showed the first 5 games of the season against a great quality opponents. I believe we have the second hardest strength of schedule up to date. I'm not sure. Don't quote me, but I know we had a pretty tough schedule. And it's all about the next game. And we have to just find ways to get better. I mean, of course, protecting the rim, getting better in pick and rolls, getting better at putting our body in plays. I think those are the things on top of my mind. But it's on to the next game, and I think we have a good belief in our team as an organization of ways we can get better, and we will have to show on the West Coast.
Layups in that game. What do you have to do on the perimeter to
Against Detroit?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you guys have to do on the perimeter to help deter some of those drives from happening?
I mean, I think it starts at the point of attack. Myself, Ice, Josh, Trey. I think it starts there. That's the main on-course is the point of the attack and the ball screens and picking up, not letting guys get downhill. And also we have to be able to trust each other to be in the gaps, to be in the fields, to know that, you know, if I'm closing out, I know KC got my backside. And we have to be able to do that on a consistent basis. We show it sometimes, but we don't show it a lot of times to be the team we want to be. And like I said, we addressing it. We understand that that's something we have to do, and everyone is bought in on doing that. So now it's all about watching the film, understand, okay, why do we give up 33 layups, and how can we prevent from giving up 33 layups again?
I don't know how much help this is taking.
Yeah, you get the scouting report on me.
Are you not dropping low?
I don't. To you.
Oh, he looked great. I was blessed to have him back by the grace of God. You know, him going through his calf, you know, just being back out there. I know this is his joy. His joy is to play basketball. His joy is to be around the guys. His joy is to compete. So just seeing him out here practicing, that was great to see.
It's early, but how pleased are you with where your three-point percentage is, given the volume is the same as last season?
I mean, I just want to continue to get better. For real, I think I've been getting some good looks. Just continue to make them, continue to work on my game, and I just want to continue to get better each and every game. That's really what my mindset is, continuing to grow. Like I said, we're 11 games in, so I still have ways to grow. I still have ways that I can get better, not just individually, but ways I can get better to help the team. And I'm just continuing to work, just work. The NBA is all about working every day, each and every day. So just continuing to do my work, continuing to, you know, shoot when I'm open and continuing to just play hard.
Do you have a specific routine for your three-point shot on a daily basis?
Yeah, I come in, I get a lot of shots up. I have a, you know, great routine with my player development coaches, Pete, Isaiah, you know, all of those guys. They, you know, we get in, Austin, LD. So really, it's about just coming in and getting my shots up. I like getting my shots in early in the morning, and I like coming and getting my shots back in at night. And then I'm a rhythm guy. Like, I'm one of those guys who, like, each and every game day or the day before the game, you will know what I'm doing if you know my routine. Like, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be doing that, and just being 5 years in the league, just learning from guys ahead of me, learning from other great leaders ahead of me onto how to get a strict routine, and I think that I was able to find one. Of course, every day or every game tweaking stuff because life happens. Like, sometimes you might get to an arena, you might not have a shoot around, you might not have an alternative plan, but for the most part, on games where the schedule is pretty much the same, I try to do the same.
I was listening to that pod you did with Tommy Alter. It just felt like I know it's only been 5 years in the league, but it feels like you had this really good understanding of how the league, the way it works, the kind of transition period guys go through. Mm-hmm. Do you sort of feel like a vet now? Like, is that even weird for you to consider?
I would consider myself a mini vet. I wouldn't say I'm a vet because I still have ways to learn. Like, I still have experiences I have to go through in terms of like being in the playoffs, being in those, on those big road games, game sevens, et cetera, et cetera. But I think I consider myself a mini vet because I was in those, like, I guarded some of the best players. I've been in those big games. I've been around Hall of Fame players. I've been around guys who scored 20,000 points, top 20, top 20. I asked a lot of questions also, so I was able to gain a lot of knowledge and, trials and tribulations also. That's a main part of my journey. But I think the main part is asking questions. I think a lot of people become egotistic in terms of asking questions because they feel like by asking someone a question, you feel less than. And I look at the opposite. I look at it as if I know you know something that I don't know, and I have the opportunity to learn what you know. I'm going to ask you. I'm going to keep asking you. I'm going to just keep asking around, just try to learn ways to get better, try to learn ways to just get an edge. It might be a small edge because in the NBA, you have the best players in the world in terms of talent, like the best players in the world. I don't think it's very, in terms of talent, I don't think it's a very big margin from maybe the 25th player in the NBA to the 65th player in the NBA. But it's those small things that get guys over the edge. And for me, I like asking a lot of questions.